Should probably pull up an old file. You're going to think I'm crazy. This one's really for the nerds. I really don't want to go here, but just to try to explain what I'm saying, let me get something pulled up on a computer, and then we'll start that. This is what an actual can frame looks like. So when you decode, what just happened? Okay. Back to this. So I just Googled this because it's the same thing. I've got a file saved, but it's not on this computer. It's on an external hard drive. The way this works, when you have all the square waves, those data packets that you're looking at in like scope trace data, where you actually have a CAN bus down or CAN bus fault or something. If you convert those binary signals to hex, there's a structure to them. This is called a CAN ID. This says I'm from a certain module to a certain module. So this is the CAN ID I'm referring to, and then you've got your data bytes or your data packets that are converted from that are converted from binary to hex. What we can watch is we can list, like this we can do. We can ID all of the CAN IDs, and then we can go from in the ignition switch run to ignition switch crank, and we can just see if any of these values change. Definitively, this is not a proof positive test, it's a proof negative, if you would. So, for example, if I monitor all the CAN IDs on this CAN bus and we have no change, like none of these values change at all when we go from run to crank, then we have definitive proof we have a failed body controller, assuming that we take care of all of our 5-volt testing. I do have tools that are buried to actually decode this stuff. The Autel is supposed to do it. I've never used it on the Autel. I've enabled it one time, but I haven't actually used it for a test, so we might try it on the Autel. If not, we might have to get some CAN analysis tools out, like actual reverse engineering tools, which is not my favorite because it's very difficult to do and very time consuming. Anyway, we can test that. And then, yeah, yeah. So this is what I was talking about when we're doing CAN testing. So what I think I'm going to do next, we're just going to go ahead and disconnect this ignition switch. Excuse me, I misspoke. We're going to crank it up to the high crank setting on the battery charger. We're going to probably actually also tap on a few things. I'm going to tap on the body controller, tap on the ignition switch, see if our scope values change, and then we'll start disconnecting ignition switches.